It's carnival time at Riccarton Park. A number of visiting trainers are lining up at the gap as their chargers head out for their pre-race preparations. In what's become a carnival tradition, the team from Riccarton have fired up the Barbie, and amongst the predictions for upcoming features, there are plenty of long yarns and tall tales being told. Right in the thick of it are Kevin and Pam Hughes, who have wound right into the fabric of Canterbury racing since moving to the region more than 25 years ago.
So talk me through that, Kevin, how that came about, because whilst you said before it was an incredible time to be based in the CD, things were changing there quite significantly, weren't they, racing-wise?
Oh, absolutely. All the studs moved away.
Yep.
And there was only 3 studs there, but they were big studs. And once they went down, studs, no horses turning up. And I think that was the time Margaretville almost finished. And then John Sargent came in. They came in with big teams. And there's not much left for anybody else.
Right.
And we thought, well, you could stay here forever, but you weren't going to go past getting other people's rubbish.
Yep.
And we decided to take the punt and come down here. And we always thought that this would be the centre. If the whole world wouldn't fall, racing would still remain very strong in Canterbury. So get down here and see how it goes.
And always based out of Riccarton?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place, really.
Yeah.
It's probably the best track in the Southern Hemisphere for training, everything, but it's a bit underused, that's all.
Things have changed quite a bit since you guys come down here. So what are we talking, early 90s here, are we?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
It's about 25 years we've been, haven't we?
Yep.
Yeah, a wee bit more.
Yeah, be a bit more, yeah.
Yeah. So how many people were training on the track at Riccarton? Because there's a few more now, isn't there?
Yes, a lot more now.
Yeah. Were there many there?
Oh, it's hard to.
Yeah, can't really.
He still had.
There are a lot of new barns now and people in them, but there would have been probably only about 2/3 of the numbers that we've got now.
While they now call Canterbury home, Kevin and Pam have both seen their fair share of the world, both through racing and personal travel. They also have many more bucket list items to tick. It's been an interesting road travelled so far. For Kevin, that journey began in the Central Districts.
Kevin Howard Hughes. Born in the early 40s, won't give the exact date. That's probably not a good start, is it?
No.
Where did the name come from?
My father's brother, Howard Hughes. He was sent over to war and died when he was 18, so that was a shame, but that's how I got the Howard part of it. So.
Yep. And you were brought up, where were you born?
I was born in Palmerston North, and lived in Florence Avenue, just down the road from the hospital. I went to school over in Fielding Ag at the border, and just went from there.
One brother?
Yes, Warren's always been a great supporter. He was a huge supporter of racing. He used to love coming down here, real character. Yeah, but he was always a great. I worked for him for a number of years. He was always a great brother. Yeah, we were great friends, great mate. And I grew up, worked a bit for him, worked on dairy farms, my father was a grocer, so in those days we had a grocery shop out in Himatangi area out there. We had the whole thing, petrol pumps, the whole outfit then, and then we bought a farm across from the shop, and then bought another farm further down, and my brothers went on to the farms, and I followed them on, and that's how we all got started. And
But you hated it. You hated the dairy farming.
I hated bloody cows. Yeah. And my brother was the same, but we boxed away at it, and then he got out of it. And then I got married and started, because you had to get married. You had to get on the farm, you had to get married. So that's how it all worked.
Yeah.
So you get married and you go on the farm and you share milk for a while. And Dad had the odd horse that didn't go very well for Malcolm Smith, and they used to eat up on the farm. And in those days we had sort of cups around the place. The Rongotia Cup, the Glenarura Cup used to go racing around like idiots. And so that's where we learnt to race horses, really.
And that's where the passion for the horse came from?
And then we started, if you had anything like jumpers or anything, you had to be go before the huntsman to get a ticket. So they had great point-to-point things
Yep.
charged around, and Eric Ropier and Eric Templeton, they all brought the horses out. Some of them raced around these country meetings just for fun. So it was a bit of a great time, yeah.
Okay, what about the horses though? So your first winner?
Oh, I forget, chap Andrews had the furniture shop. He got me gave me a horse to train called Honey Puff, and got it going. I was just owner trainer going backwards and forwards and in the float down to Foxton here, and won the Endeavour 4 with Billy Skelton on it.
WD Skelton?
Yeah, he rode it at Trentham. That was the first 2-year-old race of the year in those days. And then she went across, I think she won the Hastings Stakes, and then Billy's brother, Errol, had Sly Wink going at the time. Nice filly, 2-year-old, so he got off mine and we raced against each other in the Celebrity Stakes. And of course he beat me,
yeah.
But no, she was a good filly to start off with, and I had a good relationship for that Mr. Andrews for a number of years, and with the old horsey bred, that was good.
Another one of the early horses for you, Thomas Crown?
Yeah, he was a good horse. It was just before I got a licence, it must have been 75, he went off with Harold Webb. He was a good old trainer at Foxton, and he was a good man to learn from too.
Yeah, racing some good races, like the Northern Derby as it was then.
Yeah. And then I came to Wellington, and
the New Zealand Derby was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, New Zealand Derby. So a couple of horses broke down that day, and he was one of them. It wasn't a very big field, just hardly anything left. It was a very wet track, but we lost him there. And
but he was insured, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was insured. Yeah, got $1 out of him, and it allowed you to go on.
So you went.
Yeah,
to
so I went off to the sales, to the winter sale at Trentham in those days, and took my insurance money. Then bought.
Wits End?
Wits End, who's the mother of Cotton Club.
We actually have to wind the clock back a wee bit here, but Cotton Club.
Oh, yeah. If they didn't run 1.9, he wasn't in it. Yeah,
No.
He just loved to run fast.
Yeah.
You see a lot of his wins are all 1.9 or better. And he couldn't get out of maidens because he was too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just blew all his chances when he's learning the trade.
Yeah.
Until he got into good races where he could settle.
Because he still came over the top of horses.
Yes.
And just about being too quick when you're young, but he got himself organised. And
if they ran races up the middle of roads, he'd be fine. He just loved it hard.
Yeah.
Rock hard.
But as they race in, Cotton Club has gone up to Stan Merrick. Mutual Bell has quit. They were followed by Rosen Cavalier and Strike Oil, and further out to Livendale. Cotton Club and Stan Merrick, they're fighting it out nose for nose at the line. It's a close one. A titanic struggle, that one. And we'll just have to wait. It could be Stan Merrick. It could be Cotton Club. Rosen Cavalier.
Well, he did the day in the Stewards, which was an unofficial world record, but he had 4 goes at the Stewards, never further back than 4th, but that day you won in 1:06. Yeah. Remarkable stuff.
Well, he went that fast because after the race he could hardly walk.
Right.
He could
just
hardly
sit there
stand up.
trembling here.
He
couldn't
was
stand.
just...
Yeah. They was absolutely exhausted. They both were. And that was
Him and Stan Merrick.
Stan Merrick,
and Norwesterly behind them. Yeah, I truly believed they did run it because they were both exhausted. It was a great battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they fought the finisher. I love them.
Your first wife, Sue.
Yeah.
Yep, and 4 children.
Yeah.
Tell me about them.
They're all in the North Island, scattered around the North Island. They've all done well, and one's a builder, and one's got a big antique shop on their way through to Bulls out that area, and one's in Auckland. Yes, and one's in Wellington. I got a daughter. She went to English teacher in Hong Kong for a while. To come back home again now. She lives in Wellington. No, they've all
So
done
3
well.
girls.
3 girls and a boy.
Yep.
He's a builder, so
Yep.
very good. Oh, and he was always a mad motocrosser. Yeah, but he's had a good life. Yeah.
That marriage didn't continue on. I think 20 years, 21 years, something like that. Tell me when you first laid eyes on Pam.
Well, I was mucking around with the horses, of course, and I happened to take them to the track, and Pam was there riding work for Margaret Bull in those days, and so I thought, well, I needed a rider for a trial race one day, and I stuck her on an old horse called Piarco that I got off Eric Templeton, and she won the heat, and wasn't terribly impressed with me, but
For the way the horse turned
the way
up,
the horse turned out, but things have improved since. But so then she offered to ride work for us, and we just sort of went through, and then we did a bit of went around the shows together. Because we used to take the jumpers around before jumping season, they go around the shows jumping. Yep. So we used to take the up and coming jumpers around doing that. So then we just sort of evolved from there that I wanted to go this way. I wanted to train horses, so had a passion to do it. So I just moved on from there.
And it was quite clear to you early on that she had immense talent when it came to the equine industry, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. She made up for the things I didn't know, so it was good. And it was hard times, but we boxed our way through it.
What was your recollection of how he, I suppose, corralled you into his life?
Well, initially I wasn't very impressed with the way he presented his horse at the trials where I rode it. It one stirrup that long and the other one that long, and the horse's mane was that long. And
I hadn't measured your legs or anything.
And but we managed to tidy up the presentation side of it, and yeah, straight away.
What was the horse that you rode?
Piarco.
Piarco, yeah, well, that was pretty significant as well because the talent was clearly there because that first trial, the instructions were right.
Well, he presented me with this horse that I would have given no show in a beach donkey race, but he said, just go to the front with about 1,000 to go and you'll win it.
Just keep going.
And I went to the front with about 1,400 metres to go because I couldn't hold it, and he won it.
Back in those days, Kev, what was your training philosophy? Because maybe brush wasn't part of it by the sound of it.
Not a big part.
No.
I didn't have time to brush them, Greg, but it was just a learning curve. We had a lot of good mentors at the time, and you learn a lot as you go along, and nothing like doing it yourself and making mistakes. And I got the Piarco off Eric Tempson. It was just it was just sitting in a paddock there, and a chap from Australia didn't want him anymore. So it was a good start. And he went off and won. I think he won about a dozen races. He won about 3 for Eric and about 9 for us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good old horse. He'd just get alongside another horse and would only go past at the finish, just bang. Yeah. So
Except the day I rode him.
Yeah, well.
We went bang at the 1,400. Tell me about some of those mentors. You say Eric Templeton. Well, what about some of the other trainers around there that you gleaned some info off?
Eric Ropier, and there were just so many good trainers. Noel Eels, and they weren't afraid to, help you on the way. They knew, they had years of experience, and they weren't people as they get these days, don't want to tell the young fella anything. In those days, they'd tell you whatever they knew, whatever they thought you were doing wrong, and always in a nice way. So it was a great era to grow up with good riders, and at some of those photos we've got, Gary Phillips, Larry Cassidy, we had very good riders, and Michael Morris Campbell, and you just chuck your colours in the room, and whoever picked them up would be great. So you had good riders and good mentors, and it's probably an era you never see now.
Pam, tell me a bit more about your background, and I know at one stage you were studying to be a vet, and at the same time you were riding work, and it's a pretty busy life, wasn't it?
Yes, it was busy, and when we were first starting out, I was working. I worked at Massey for 5 years, and then for Beaumac for 5 years, and then part-time for MAF and Assure Quality right through until the earthquakes here.
Tell me a bit about your family heritage, and was there any racing in your side of things?
My grandfather loved racing.
Yep.
Mum did. My father and brother didn't. They're both not at all interested in racing,
Yeah.
but liked horses.
Yeah.
And supported whatever I did. But my brother and father are both High Court judges.
Right.
So really didn't quite fit the mould, really.
But the smarts of the family clearly are on the side here then, aren't they? Without being disrespectful. Because you're a Christchurch girl?
Yep.
Yep, born and bred.
Absolutely.
So getting up to Massey and working up that
Yep.
way, how did that all sort of come about?
Well, that was the only veterinary college in New Zealand.
Yep.
And once I got up there, really I never left. I was
Yeah.
there for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
And then
She got lucky.
Got lucky. Oh, I think we can work out who got lucky here.
I thought I'd better bring him back here and show him what Canterbury was all about.
You didn't have much money, did you? It was a real battle.
It was a battle. We used to use the American Express card, and when we got 3 months on that,
Yeah.
before you had to pay up. So then we got through. And of course, it was 18% interest in those days. Unbelievable.
This has a familiar ring for me because that fella Waller, who's done okay in Sydney, he used to operate on credit like that too.
Yeah.
But you had to, Kevin.
It was amazing, but and it just it was so tough that you get up in the morning, you do all the boxes, then you work all the horses. There's only 2 of you doing it.
Yeah.
You couldn't afford to put any staff, so it was tough.
How many horses were you doing back then? Or
We started when we moved to from the farm. We had must have been about 14 that went into our pony, and I bought a place called Makwana Lodge. I think Ivell had it years ago. Yeah, and Garth Ivell had that, and he had both stables there before Eric Templin went there, and it was right on the road. You had to cross the road to get to the track twice.
Yeah.
All the teams did. So there's a few horses went scattering down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was it was a learning curve.
Kevin, in the early 90s, you and Pam applied for a job in Malaysia, of all places. Tell me about it. Not only did you apply, you got it.
Yes, it was a riding school. It must have been in the cooler part of Malaysia. And I think you're there just to look after the horses for the rich eatery or whatever. And it appeared quite a good job, but at the time we wanted to continue with racing, and we weren't sort of going anywhere where we were. And we thought maybe should we go and do something else. We did. I think we did apply for go to China or something too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I thought no. Go south. Pam's father died too, and so his mother was moving south, going back home, and so I thought no, let's go down there and make a start. And so it was a good move from the finish because I love this place down here. I reckon I always do.
What sort of numbers did you bring down with you, and what sort of horses did you bring down?
Four, only bought half a dozen.
Yeah.
6 nullas.
Should have left them behind. They were a bit chop. About Pam was the only one that could ride them.
Yeah. And you bought a place, or did you rent a place on Racecourse Road?
No, we bought a place.
Bought a place.
Yeah. Where young Carsten is now.
Yes.
Michelle bought it off us, and we moved on. So it was a good spot to start off from. Yeah.
Yeah. And then a move to Clyde Road.
Then,
Clyde Road.
Yeah. Clyde Road, and then we bought this place. So get back close to the track again.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about some of these horses that you've had as a partnership, because a lot of them have gone on and won up to 10 races and more. First one I wanted to talk about, and we've got a whole yarn about Eric the Bee, which will probably be a program on its own. Gurney Halleck, Spit McPhee, these types of horses, Point Me Adam, they all won good numbers of races, didn't they?
Oh, they all getting 10 or so, aren't they?
Yeah.
Gurney Haddock was a little midget, but he was always great at Rangiora on turning tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, won the Geraldine Cup.
Yeah. And Spit McPhee, he was good for any little country cup anywhere, you know, Greymouth, Nelson, places where they don't even race anymore often. But, if there was a wee egg cup to run for somewhere, he was the man.
Spit McPhee, a narrow leader from Holmes, and Donegal Lane is eating into their lead. Wider out on the track here in the last 50 to go. Spit McPhee is holding. Donegal Lane is nailing it on the line, not quite. And getting to the line first, Spit McPhee.
We've got a wonderful photo, haven't we, of the 4 of them together, Eric the Bee as well.
All out hunting.
Yeah, all out hunting, that's cool, isn't it? Yeah. Your passion for the horse comes through when you see photos like that and getting the... What did they win, 39 or 40 races between them or something? Which is,
And all out hunting.
Yeah, that was a special day, wasn't it?
Off the track thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
Good for anything.
Yeah. But looking after the horse post-racing and that's always been part of your guys' mindset, hasn't it? It's not just, hey, we'll race this horse till we can get nothing more out of it and then cast it aside. That's something that clearly comes out for you guys.
We've found good homes for everything. People don't realise how well thoroughbreds are trained to go elsewhere.
Right.
They think they're all silly in the head, but none of them are. They're used to a life and they like to have people around them, and they fit into most places quickly. They're quite cunning, some of them. They can't get there quick enough.
But they love the routine of it too, don't they?
They do. Yeah.
Routine's a biggie for them.
Yeah. Have you always loved the hunting side of things? And I know you talk about the point-to-point meetings and those sorts of things, so that's a big part of...
It was a big part, not so much now, but it was a big part there.
For me, it was eventing when I was competing. But after about 25 years of being away from that because I was too busy, I got back hunting and loved that.
Love that, yeah.
Yeah, just relaxation. I couldn't go back eventing or competing because you couldn't do it well enough again.
Yeah.
But I was eventing back in the days when Mark Todd was starting out.
Tell me a bit more about that. What sort of level did you get to? And
I competed at the top level in New Zealand, and I had a season over in England.
Did you? Right.
Yeah, but didn't have a horse. I rode other people's horses there. I qualified a horse for Hickstead, which was quite big.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Joby leads in, margin ahead, he can fly and it's outside. Spider Lily's a length away third. Hard written pin sharp from Pat in brackets. He can fly's made the lead from Joby. Pat in brackets 2 lengths away from Spider Lily. He can fly, 200 metres to go. Leads half a length on Joby against the rail. Then Pat in brackets a further half a length away. He can fly's in front at the 100 metre mark. Pat in brackets starting to hone in now. He can fly a neck ahead. Pat in brackets drives and got him. Pat in brackets near the line, but he can fly Joby.
You raced a horse called Pat in brackets, and the story behind the name's quite cool because that's your dad.
Yep, Dad. They always call him Pat. It was on top of the shops. You used to put your name up there. It was Len Pat in brackets Hughes. So when I got a horse, I thought, well, that's a good name for a horse.
Yeah.
Pat in brackets.
And did a good job.
He did a good job. Yeah, he won a few, but I just thought it was a great name to remember the old dad. It was the old shop there. I still see the sign up. So it was good.
You guys place a lot of emphasis on early education. Tell me a bit more about that and how your philosophy of training emulates very much from that.
Well, we'd like to see a horse travelling in a shape, and otherwise it can't work his body. So one of the essential things was getting them going and have them travelling well, so they're improving. If they're going around badly, they're never going to develop every muscle in their body. You only develop half a muscle, and you've got to split your work both ways, so you develop the whole horse. So that's just having a collected animal going around, then you can ask it to go quicker. That'd be fair enough, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah. If they're working in a shape, they're improving their body, regardless of what speed they're going.
So is that it? You just take them through it slowly as opposed to trying to get them there quicker than they need to get there.
Yeah.
You don't want their brain to get ahead of everything, so you've got to get their body up with their brain.
Yeah.
And then it works out okay. But if you can't get the brain to think about what they're doing, they don't
They won't perform.
They won't perform.
And they've got to be happy doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they don't know what they're aiming at.
Yeah.
We know what we're aiming at. We have a plan, but yeah, if you're a person, you can go and run harder, work harder, because you know what you're aiming at. But a horse, they haven't got a clue.
You're the teachers. You're the
They've
educators.
got to be happy, or they can't work.
And if they're not listening to you, you're in trouble. So, yeah, it's the communication with the horse. Yeah.
And listening to them.
Wider out runs coming from Cabela and Lochran from a long way back. We've got Dantessa joined by Starbow. Cabela's letting down with her run, coming home quickly, and Lochran is out a little bit deeper. Cabela to Starbow, fighting hard. Lochran on the outside, finishing off well the last little bit, but consistency rewarded. She's a fine southern mare. Cabela has won it from Starbow and Lochran. And then
Where did the colours come from?
That's a good question. When did we decide those colours? Because they're great to see. They're easy to watch.
Yeah, they weren't originally like that. It was a quartered cap and blue sleeves with an armband, and we thought we'll modernise them a bit, so that was probably my idea. So the striped hat and the striped sleeves came into it.
Yep.
And yeah,
They do stand out.
Yeah,
don't they?
They
I
are
love
easy
them.
to
They're easy
see.
to watch. Yeah.
easy to see.
Yep.
So I have no idea where they came from. It just
Must have
seemed.
been a brilliant idea of yours.
I think it was a great one.
They're racing this time, the gates open and away they went, and Melamai, Eric the Bee jumped out with it, followed out then by Breezy going up to join them. No retreat sound, look and sneak at the first, and they all take it 7 wide. So
How did you come to get him?
Well, he's at Montgomery's place.
Yeah, he'd been tried up north.
Went on the running rail at Waipak for Sargent.
John Sargent trained him, didn't
Yes,
he? Early
yeah.
on.
And he went on the running rail and he's a bit
At
disappointed.
the trials.
At the trials.
Right.
So he got rid of
He
him.
could go under a running rail though, because he
Yeah,
wouldn't have far
he didn't
go.
have to duck much.
And he was at the owner's, Stephen Montgomery's place, and I think Stephen just bought a new 10-foot gate.
Yeah.
And he didn't jump, he just went straight through it.
Ran straight
He said, I've
through
got this horse here that can't jump. You're interested in leasing him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got
So
him.
we hadn't been here long. We didn't have any horses, so we leased them.
Yeah.
And
The rest is history.
rest is history.
And it's
yeah.
a deep history.
Oh, it's amazing how anything could do that.
Yeah.
But and then he ends up taking us places we'd never ever imagined being able to go with a horse.
Yeah.
You go to America and Ireland and France and that's just... But Michael Watt was an incredibly generous owner. Yeah, a great man. He's always been very good to us, hasn't he?
Yep.
Always very good.
Here comes Eric the Bee down the outside. Glenn Harry, that knocked the wind out of his sails. He's dropping back. Snigs over the last. From Eric the Bee, running home very resolutely. That's the winning run coming from Eric the Bee. Down towards the winning post it goes, and Eric the Bee wins it by 3 to 4 lengths.
He won his first hurdle at Timaru, and Lisa McGregor rode him.
Correct.
And he went whoosh. I remember watching that
Yes.
recently. Yeah, it was a terrific performance and signalled a little bit of things to come, didn't it?
I said something stupid that day, didn't
You
I?
did say something stupid that
He'll
day.
win
Does that happen very often?
I thought he'll win the national. And then the next thing she whacked me. Yeah.
You were mixing the hurdling and flat racing early on. What was the mindset around that? Was it just keeping him ticking over?
He didn't like work. He didn't like hard work at all.
Right.
The sort of work, volume of work you'd need for a jumper, you just couldn't do to him. He didn't like it.
Right.
But he could, he was better to go off and have a race and run around that. He enjoyed doing that.
Right. So that's why you did that, yeah.
Yeah, and then in his training, we just give him twice around the hurdle track and then sprint 800. He loved doing that.
That was his go.
That was his go.
Yeah, I don't think he ever galloped except on race day, any further than about 1200.
Right.
So that's
Because
why
he just, yeah.
that's why you had to give him a race on the flat.
Yeah.
yeah,
To keep him going.
Yeah.
Yep. You put a bloke on that could ride a wee bit, Snooky Cowan. In fact, he never actually lost a race on Eric the Bee, but the first time you put him on, do you remember why you settled on him? Because you'd used a few jockeys in the early stages anyway.
He was always a great rider. He was the best. We thought he was the best hurdle rider out there anyway.
Right.
But he was superb on him.
Yeah.
And he always determined where he's going to be in the field, and he always got there. No matter what happened to the rest of the field, Snooky always got there.
Yeah.
And he was brilliant. And he's a great jumps rider.
One chance they come to the last. Our Paddy, Eric the Bee and Pinnacle, they jump it. Oh, Eric the Bee flew it. And Eric the Bee's over first, clearing away. Our Paddy and Pinnacle, they're battling the minor money. Eric the Bee, this is a great Grand National Hurdles trial for him. Eric the Bee, our Paddy and Pinnacle, the three.
What about the 109th Grand National Hurdle? You made the statement that he'd win the National, and
Yeah.
what was the build-up like to that day, and how confident were you?
Oh, you're always overconfident, I suppose, but
Well, you are.
we won the lead up was always at Ashburton.
Yep.
And we won that, and I thought, well, after saying what I said at Timaru, he'd got to be hard to beat. But it was a very good field. I think it was a full field, and and Pinnacle was in it. And he was a good flat horse. But coming to that last fence, the little man poked his head out, and away he goes.
And wanted to win.
He wanted to win.
And you're right, Pinnacle was a good horse, an open class galloper.
Yeah.
So that took some beating that day.
It was just amazing to see a big field and coming into the last fence. They're all up there, you know. It was a brilliant race.
Eric the Bee coming down to the last fence now with Melamai and One Chance and Pinnacle coming at them. At the last, Eric the Bee over it from One Chance. Melamai, Pinnacle, Sarabians finishing solidly, and further back Mr. Solo, it's Eric the Bee. Eric the Bee from One Chance. Pinnacle rushes through in the middle. Eric the Bee, Pinnacle, One Chance.
And
Melamai,
given your
followed by
eventing background and your love for the point-to-point and all those types of things, to win a national, where did that sit for you guys?
Oh, that was a high.
Yeah.
A very, very, very big high. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of work, and then and those things too. You keep working, those things turn up.
Yep.
Yeah. That's just a matter of keeping working. Yeah. So it's no, that was great. And then he went on from there, and it was sold from there, and went off to Belmont. The first time they held a steeplechase there, and great man came out from England to ride him. McCall came out to ride
Tony
him.
McCoy.
Tony McCoy, yeah.
Came out from home, flew out in the Concorde. Amazing. The owner does that sort of thing.
How did the sale come about? So the owners of Eric the Bee at the time were?
Neil Blay,
Yep.
myself.
So how did that come about though, the sales side of things? Where did the interest come from?
That's not what agent approached you.
An agent just rang us up and said he wanted to buy him. So
Yeah.
And you didn't believe him.
You didn't believe him. We thought, well, he wanted to buy him until he sees him,
Yep.
you know. But he continued to want to buy him, and it wasn't really until towards the end that we found out it was Michael Watt,
Yep.
who was an expat in New Zealand living in London, who was after him, and he got him.
Yeah.
Yep. So he left New Zealand and took you guys
To New York.
on a tour that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Trip of the world, yeah.
Yeah.
He raced at Belmont, and then we had to say goodbye to him to a degree. And he flew to.
Well, he went over and joined Dermot Weld,
Yeah.
and we settled him in Ireland, and he had no success over there at all. He got he got a major damage to his tail. They left a tail bandage on when they flew him over to Italy to run in the big steeplechase over there.
Now you were telling me about that. Someone who rode him back here saw him in a paddock, didn't they?
He was
Yes.
over there with Dummy Miles and Damon Smith through. I
Damon
recognised him
Smith,
because he lived
yeah.
in here.
Yep.
And he went over and got him and got the vet. And I think that's probably where he got the next injury that put him out. That's why he didn't race
Because
very well over there.
When you got him back.
injecting him, they
that nerve.
damaged the laryngeal nerve.
Right.
Yeah.
Which would have been the breathing.
which caused the
breathing
collapse
problems,
of one side of his
But,
larynx.
So how'd you get him back? What happened there?
Well, he rang up and said, I got the horse out my front window out there, and he said he looked very miserable. What'll I do with him? I said, well, send him back. He said, what'll that cost me? I said, I know, about 22,000 New Zealand dollars. He said, oh, he'll be on the plane as soon as I get him on the plane then.
Yeah.
So he came back and we had a wee party. And then...
Eric's back. I think they did a story on there that was in the press.
Yeah,
and,
we had a great party, and he looked okay, but then we started to bring him up again, and
Well, we put him in the swimming pool, and you could hear him in Ashburton.
Right.
He was just roaring.
Yeah. So you knew there was a problem there because you had a few starts, and he just didn't come up, did he? He just didn't at all. So then you operated on him. Is that how it panned out?
No, we didn't race him. We operated on him straight away.
Right.
We're look at your paper there. It looks like he had a whole of the starts, but he didn't have those starts. We operated on him straight away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we operated on him before he started.
Okay. Yeah, you got him going. You certainly did. He was placed at Gore, and then he won the Otago hurdle. So you well and truly had him back on track.
And then he won a national. And second in the national.
He ran second in the national hurdles, and he won the national.
So they're all in, and the Pinegold Guinness Grand National Steeplechase is sent on its journey, and the best to go out, Currency, straight to the front, and going out with it, Silver Archer, the big greys, a little wider in the track, and over on the outside, Eric the Bee tucking back a little bit with Willie T. And
Well, that's an amazing story in itself. So you've lobbed him into the hurdles on the Wednesday, and was Jonathan Riddell riding him by then? Yep, so he was on him. He's run second. And then you've put him in the steeples on the Saturday. He's come out and won it.
Yeah, bit special.
Is that right up there with what you guys have achieved in the game? Sure, winning your first national was great, and we'll talk about some of your other very, very good gallopers. But to bring him back from the brink of retirement, he was effectively finished, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it just shows you what a brave little man he was. And. It gave us, it was a bit special. Didn't come much better than that, no. So you look after them, we try to do the best for them without hurting them, virtually. And for them to do that for you, it's pretty good.
Eric the Bee, down towards it he comes. He's up, he's over, and in second spot with Currency 5 lengths away. Further back with Sarabian, and well down the track, Silver Archer got over it. But Eric the Bee, this is a great moment. There's no doubt about that. He won the Grand National Hurdles here about 3 years ago. And Eric the Bee is going to the line. He's going to win it for Jonathan Riddell and gets home 10 lengths in front of Currency. And
Special for you?
Oh, yeah.
That week?
Grand National Week's always been a special for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one's especially special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of good Grand National Weeks, and it's always brought up a horse for us. Always brought up a winner. Always brought back good memories.
A lot of horses kick off at National Week that go on into the spring.
Yeah. Do you think when you finally hang up the stirrups for the last time, or when you retire as a trainer, and I'm not suggesting that that's going to happen, that you guys will be remembered for Eric the Bee as much as any other horse?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably.
I don't know. There may be better ones in the pipeline.
Yes.
Oh, we'll always remember. Yeah.
guys have had some significant owners in your time. Let's touch on some of those. Barry Thomas, he's had a big part to play, particularly in the last 10 or 12 years or so.
Oh yes, he's very lucky, Barry. He got Maybe Miami, and that spoiled him a bit.
Crystal Duke.
Crystal Duke. He won 10 too.
Yeah.
And then...
well, those two horses, but Maybe Miami.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about, again, a horse not of huge stature,
Big head.
but solid
Yeah,
and
yeah.
very brave.
Very brave, and yeah, it was. Well, he just started off and he just won for fun. He came out and you wouldn't have thought that he didn't do anything to put a hood on his head.
Yeah.
And away he went.
Yeah.
He just came out and really in those early runs he just danced down the track, and he didn't get serious until he got into the higher up. When he just stayed pat in the racing and yeah, just could sit in the first three and come on home.
Maybe Miami is. The toppy's kicking strongly. The toppy's home here. Maybe Miami over two's not enough, and Timmy Tyler, that's a trifecta. Maybe Miami first out and first home.
He won a couple of Copeland's preludes. He also won a Timaru Stakes or a Timaru Cup. Is that one of his career highlights, I suppose?
Oh,
The Group 3 in Arpuni.
Yeah, Awapuni was special to you guys, wasn't it?
He went up there and they mucked around with the track, and it was an awful track for him to race on when he won it. We were very confident before the meeting went belly up, and then when he rescheduled it, a bit worried that he wouldn't cop the track because it was a bit rough, a bit dry. But brave run, knuckle down, and
tough, brave
good rider.
horse.
Yeah. Sam Collins rode it very well.
Maybe Miami, Shadow Fox over on the inside's trying to lift again, and then El Pescado and Duffers Creek and Jar Jar Binks right up on the inside. It's the Southerner, Maybe Miami in front and too good. Maybe Miami from...
Tell me a bit more about Crystal Duke. Again, won 10 races.
Oh, he's a beauty, he was. He didn't like going into the barrier, and he waddled out of them.
Yeah.
And if on his day, if he's going to go, he'd go. But if he wasn't going to go, he wasn't going to go. And it was all there was to it. And the day he fell out of the gates.
5 lengths or more last.
Yeah. And got up and won easy.
Yeah.
Robert Haddon rode him.
Yeah.
And then
Ripped the field.
he could begin with the field and decide he didn't like the field that day.
Yeah.
Do nothing.
Racing in the Classic. Oh, Crystal Duke missed the start badly by about 5 lengths, and Intransigent was a little bit slow as well. And Crystal Duke, who bombed the start by 5. On the inside, Zanista. Crystal Duke, this has been a win for Kevin and Pam Hughes, and Crystal Duke won the Winter Classic.
So you picked them out? Is that how it works? And you said to him, this is the one we want? Or?
Yeah, babe, another very good owner,
Wendy
Pye,
Yes.
said, I want you to meet, I can't work out how we met Wendy, but Wendy said, there's a man you should meet, he's be on my boat. You come on my boat for dinner or lunch or something. And I met Barry there, and then he said to me, I said, you're going to go to Sales? He said, oh, meet me under the tree, and I've got to fly out. So I went up there, and he said, oh, if you find me something for about 20,000, that'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I went and got something for him, and that's how it started.
Blimmin' auspicious start. You've gone bang, bang. So you'd think this game's easy.
Yeah, he does. That's the trouble. And but then Wendy was very good at getting us Barry, and we had a good relationship. He's been great to train from. He's great for racing.
A horse that got me virtually every time at race because I could never say its name right. I'll have a crack here. Shiniwami. Is that right?
That's right.
Where the hell did that come from?
Actually, it's
Shiniwami. There you go. I didn't even get it right that time.
Hand me my machine gun, I mean.
Right.
in Swahili.
It's Swahili.
Well, no wonder I couldn't get it.
Yeah. So that's...
Won about 4 or 5 races? Yeah.
It just would have been a much better horse if he hadn't been a wee bit crazy. and we bought him.
We bought him.
For Roger Finley.
Finley, yep.
But the horse just, the mother was lovely.
Yeah.
Pentire, I think he leaves lovely horses. But this thing, I mean, he was like an ADHD sort of a kid. Really.
Right.
He just couldn't focus and concentrate on anything.
Shiniwami is out by 4 lengths now on Tally Ho Tui and Delacroix to the 100-metre mark, and Shiniwami is going to do the pretty good-looking shimmy here. Shiniwami's going to bolt in. Delacroix will get to second. Shiniwami by 5.
Still managed to win those races.
Oh,
though,
he still
so-
wins. Yeah. So he tried hard, but geez, he did more work going around before he got there.
Aussie for Aussie Brown.
Oh, what a lovely horse.
Wonderful horse.
Yeah, we bred him, and that was a...
So he was by DeCash, was he?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, should never have gone as far as he went. But he was, and it turned up out here, he had a great score at Riccarton.
Yep. He had a couple of goes at the Winter Cup. That wasn't quite his race,
No,
but
that was the day they had a false start.
They had a false
yes, that
start.
didn't
That
help.
killed him.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Yeah.
No.
His eyes were stuck out anyway, he didn't need any help.
Aussie's going to put in a dive. I think he got there. I think the old boys won Aussie and beaten Comanche Gold and a Ronsay in a photo.
He managed to win nearly a couple of 100,000.
Yeah, no, he's very handy. And he went on getting over ground too.
Yep.
Did he run about 6th in the Auckland Cup?
Yep.
You took him up and he ran second in a Martin Cup too, I think.
Yeah.
Won a
Yes.
great race in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No. And
Good horse.
Great name too. Yeah. And,
Oh, yeah.
And Mike McNamara, he sort of bought the bit of extra with it, didn't he? When
Well, he did. He bought into it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He bought into it. It was great. Yeah. So that was great times. Yeah.
Another jumper I wanted to touch on was Black Eagle. Tell me a bit about him.
Well,
He came to us from another stable and hadn't succeeded, and he was another one bred by Brian and Sandra.
Yep.
Great, big, tall, skinny, lean machine, and absolute opposite to Eric the Bee, who was Mr. Economical. You pottled around, you got over your fences, and you saved all your energy to the end. Black Eagle, it didn't matter how big the fence he hurdled it, he would take off, before
Ridiculous.
acceptances and land out the other side, and if he ever hit one, he crashed big time, and he had a few big crashes, but when he got it right, he was just pretty to watch.
He
wasn't
could soar,
He was
couldn't he? Yeah.
spectacular.
he was unbelievable.
Big
yeah.
and black and beautiful, and he won the Waikato Steeples with Joe Rathbone and the Wellington Steeples with Isaac Lupton, and it was amazing to watch.
Black Eagle is going to get this. The Braxton Waikato Chase. Second Hypnotise and third Jamie's Chance, but Black Eagle and Joanne Rathbone the prize. Second
You're a great planner, or the period of great planners once you've got the right product. So when those sorts of things come off, how satisfying?
Well, I mean, you get excited. You like the 3-year-olds race the other day. We just see your plan work. Like when Carnival won the Stewards, you get so jolly excited. It's so thrilled that it works.
Yeah.
Because so many plans don't work.
No.
And I think you've got to enjoy those moments.
Yeah, Carnival's a great example because you told me in September, I think she'd won one race maybe or something like that, and you said, she'll win the Stewards, and I'm like, Kevin Hughes, I think he's had too many bangs to the head or something, I'm not too sure what he's talking about there, but you were bang on.
Yeah. No, she got up and did it. Good job.
Carnival at the moment's the only danger. Then Signify. Kinnegat's running on from riding shotgun. It's still passing shot. Carnival's ahead away. Carnival goes to the lead. Yes! Carnival won it ahead.
So there's a Don and Wendy Pie.
Don and Wendy Pie, yeah.
Yep.
A great thrill for them.
Yep.
And
Dame Wendy.
Dame Wendy, yeah.
You've hung out with some pretty auspicious people in your days.
Oh, they seem to be, they're so nice, some of these, people that are in high profile people. That, people don't realise how nice they are.
Didn't you have a drink with the Queen or Queen Mother or something one day?
The Queen Mother, no, they...
Queen
Oh,
Mother,
when
yeah.
Sebastian
When
won.
Sebastian up the other Princess Alexandra or something, yeah.
Well, there's another jumper, San Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think we could call him a jumper, really. he
Couldn't jump that table.
No.
he couldn't jump. He couldn't jump to save himself, but
Yeah.
he ran second in the national.
That's amazing, isn't it? You know?
And the funny thing was, we had to get. He was very thin-skinned, and we had to get special permission back then for him to have a padded whip.
Right.
For Michelle Hopkins
Yeah.
Yeah.
to ride him with a padded stick.
Yeah.
And now it's all they allow.
That's all that it is. Yeah. Yeah. How'd you come to get him? That's again another story, isn't it?
Oh, Michael Watt sent him out to us
Yep.
to see if he could win another Grand National.
Beautiful horse.
Yeah.
Beautiful horse.
Yeah.
sad end.
When we were over there with her at Ascot, it was 2 miles 7 furlongs at one, wasn't it?
On the flat.
On the flat. God, 2 miles 7 furlongs.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. We started him in a mile and a half out here, didn't we?
That was his fresh up run.
People will be thinking, what the heck is going on
His
here?
fresh up run.
Yeah.
First race in New Zealand was the Great Autumn 2.5.
Yeah.
And it was a bit
half a run.
It was a bit short for him.
I think we had Bates on, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
He ran about 5th or 6th, didn't he?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to know the animal, don't you? Yeah.
But he got struck by lightning when
Yeah.
he was out spelling.
Unbelievable.
Chances of that happening.
Christmas.
Yeah. Not really fair.
Not really, no.
Emily Margaret, tell me about her.
Oh, she's brave because she had problems all last year, and to keep her on her feet, which aren't much good, and to get her through, do what she did, and it was just toughness, you know. And it's a credit to the horse that she could.
Now she's raced by
Roger
Finley
and
yeah.
Emily
Mark,
and
yeah.
Emily Margaret Finley.
hence the name. Yeah.
I don't think she really had a startlingly sound day in her life over a 3-year-old career. If it wasn't stone bruises or bruised heels or just scratchy old feet or chips in her knees or something or other. But we managed to cuddle her through that whole season and get the South Island filly
Filly of the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Group 2 at Wellington.
That was good. Getting a good
And she
two.
can, yeah.
Yeah, so she couldn't do much more of that. Yeah, and she won the South Island really easily.
But it's the favourite pair. Emily Margaret digs in for the fight here. Wecker Force looks to go with her from Quattro Katie. It's Wecker Force and Emily Margaret. The greys in front, Emily Margaret over Wecker Force, and then came Quattro Katie. Leader is still Emily Margaret. Wecker Force can't get level, and Emily Margaret won the Canterbury Bell.
Well, she won the Canterbury Bell back in September, and again, I think you told someone at trackside that she was pretty good, and yeah, she was brilliant that day. Maybe things worked out for her nicely. Track was perfect, all of that sort of stuff. But she got it done, and you got her through to the Guineas, won by Media Sensation. But she wasn't. Again, you were having problems, so yeah.
Start again, get organised.
Yeah.
But it's a long season for them, mate. You know, the South Islands.
It's a difficult series.
It's so long.
Yes.
It's so long to keep them up all the time.
You'd won the Guineas at Wellington. Now that must have been some sort of thrill.
It was a surprise for Robbie too. A surprise for me because when she got bolted out the last, got chopped at the start. I thought we can kiss this goodbye.
Yeah.
Because
she's an on-pace type of horse, wasn't she?
absolutely.
Yeah.
On pace brain, on
Yeah.
pace everything, and yeah, you miss the kick like that, and
Well, both of them have got an on-pace brain, haven't they?
Yeah.
Robbie's got
Robbie's
an on-pace
got-
brain too.
And the Norwood family Wellington Guineas are off. And racing, press release, slow dawn patrol, cyber attack, and Emily Margaret go back.
He had to change his mind. But he was brilliant. Yeah, she just flew home down the outside. That was she deserves it. You know, the horses do these sort of things. They deserve it.
Emily Margaret out wide, the Southern girls flying home. She'll win, she'll win, I think Emily Margaret, bigger winner, put in a bomb right on the line, might be closer than I thought. And then
What are your days? What is a training day for you guys now? What time does the alarm go off?
Oh, we usually
5.
start 5, and everyone starts at 5:30, and then we get the horses over the track at 6, and I usually get them everything tidied up by about 10, 10:30.
Yep.
And then they come back at 3 and finish off. Yeah, so the night runs go night's about 3 to
couple of
5.
hours at night.
Yeah, a couple of hours at night.
A couple other things you enjoy doing. The garden I've had a look at. That I'm sure that produces.
I don't mind the eating part. You're the flower part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does the veggies. Yeah, he's
The
got on the
barbecue.
barbie.
Yeah,
You love that, don't you?
yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And we sit in an area that doesn't matter what time of year it is. You can fix
Just pull
it to
blinds down, away you go.
away you
yeah.
go. Yeah. You're a remarkable man, Kev. I'm not going to touch too much on back to the 40s when you were born, but it'd be fair to say, without being too disrespectful, a lot of people, once they get to your stage of life, the last thing they're thinking about doing is continuing to work, and particularly in a physical sense, horses. But you've never thought about giving it away, have you?
No, it didn't occur to you, really. I just kept on going. There's always, I don't know why, you don't think you're getting old, but you probably are. But always had terrific support with what I wanted to do. That makes it help. Yeah, doesn't it? Big help.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you put it down to? Because his longevity's been nothing short of remarkable.
Well looked after.
And you keep him young, which is a good thing.
Yep.
Keep him active and...
Keeps me active, eh? Yeah.